Most AWS security tutorials show you how to turn services on, but they don't explain why those services exist or how they actually work together in the real world. AWS Control Tower is a perfect example. Some people think it makes your environment secure, while others think it's just an account factory. In reality, Control Tower does something far more important. It defines the rules of your AWS environment before a single workload is deployed. In this video, I will show you where AWS Control Tower fits in a real cloud security architecture, why it is the foundation of multi-account security, and how it works with services like AWS Config, Guard Duty, and Security Hub. If you've ever wondered why security breaks down as AWS environments scale, this is where it starts. As AWS environments grow, security problems usually don't start with attackers. They start with unmanaged accounts. For example, different teams configure security differently, login gets disabled, guardrails are made optional, and over time, you lose consistency and then visibility. Control Tower exists to solve this exact problem, not by securing applications, but by governing the environment those applications live in. Just a quick clarification before we go any further, because this is where a lot of people get confused. AWS Control Tower is not a security service. It doesn't detect attacks, it doesn't scan resources, and it doesn't protect applications directly. Control Tower is a governance service, and governance isn't the same thing as security, but it is what makes security reliable at scale. Think of it this way. Security services protect systems. Control Tower protects the rules those systems must follow. That distinction is important because if you expect Control Tower to behave like Guard Duty or AWS Config, you will misunderstand what it is designed to do. Once governance is in place, then services like AWS Config, Guard Duty, and Security Hub can actually do their jobs properly. Control Tower isn't security, it's governance, and governance is what keeps security from becoming optional. In the layered architecture, at the bottom we have AWS organization, which is the roots of authority. This is where accounts are grouped, policies are inherited, and service control policies, SCPs, are enforced. If organization is designed wrongly, every security service above it is working uphill. Sitting directly above organizations is AWS Control Tower. This is the most important layer in the entire architecture. It is the governance boundary. It defines which rules are non-negotiable. It secures the rules of the environment. Above the governance boundary, we have detection and visibility. Here we have services like AWS Config that continuously monitors configuration drift. And we also have Security Hub, which aggregates findings across accounts and services. This layer answers the question, how do we know when something breaks or drifts? And next above that is the workload level security controls. Here you have services like IAM, which decides who can access what. You also have your web application firewall, which controls traffic to your application. And you have the KMS, which protects your data from unintended access and compromise. These controls are powerful, but they are configured per workload, per account. Without governance underneath all of this, security becomes inconsistent very quickly. The key idea here is that below control tower, teams have flexibility. Above the control tower, security teams enforce non-negotiable rules. This is how security scales without slowing engineering teams down. A real world scenario or situation where control tower is not in place leads to a situation where a team or teams that has or have full admin access in every account can unintentionally disable CloudTrail, and then perhaps they forget to even turn them back on. And what happens is that whenever there's a compromise of credentials in that account or in any of those accounts where the CloudTrail has been disabled, even though your guard duty fires an alert, you don't have the logs to be able to determine the root cause and to see what led to that compromise. But if you have control tower guardrails in place, disabling logging wouldn't have been possible in the first place. And that's the difference between detection and governance. So with AWS Control Tower, we don't just depend on detection, we also rely on the governance in place. If there's one thing to remember from this video, it's this. AWS Control Tower doesn't secure your applications. It secures the rules of your AWS environment. It is the foundation that makes services like AWS Config, Guard Duty, and Security Hub actually effective at scale. Without it, security becomes optional and inconsistent. But with it in place, teams can still move fast, but inside guardrails, within guardrails that prevent the most expensive mistakes. In the next video, we will build on this foundation. I will show you why audit and log archive accounts exist, what threat model they are designed for, and how they reduce blast radius when, not if, something goes wrong. If this kind of real-world cloud security architecture is useful to you, kindly consider subscribing. This series focuses on how AWS security actually works in production, not just how it is documented. And if there's a specific scenario you would like to see covered, drop it in the comments. I will use those to shape future videos. See you in the next video.